Hello. Welcome to our channel. Welcome on our channel. Another Saturday, and we will listen to Pneuma today. A really exciting day. We just listened to Fear Inoculum last week from Fear Inoculum album 2019. So we just started this album, but we went through a lot through these past few months. What are we going to listen to today is the actual studio version, just to let you know. I know that there was quite a few voices for the live concert version, wasn't there?
Yeah, the one focused on the drumming.
Yes. What we've decided is that for today, because obviously that will be my first listen of Pneuma song, I will listen to the studio version, and then perhaps in 2 weeks or so we will do some perhaps extra episode. We'll see how it goes, because obviously that's something I would like to see ultimately. Quite a lot of you recommended this as well. Now, as you know, we have our Patreon account, so if you would like to support us, link will be under the video. That's it from me, really. I'm gonna keep it brief. I'm ready, and I can't wait to start Pneuma.
Okay, so studio version of Pneuma.
Yes.
Okay.
Really interesting.
What an intro.
We are the spirit bound to this flesh. We go around, 1 foot nailed down. We're bound to reach out and beyond this flesh. Become Pneuma.
Nice.
We are a will and wonder about you. Recall, remember, one breath, one word, one spark, sun becoming.
finish?
Yeah, it's finished.
Oh, nice. Nice, really nice. This song was different though from what we've listened to before. I think I know why so many people insisted on listening to the the concert with the drumming, because I felt like the voice in this song, Maynard's voice, was just an addition. The main part was the musical part, and that's what did the real song in here. That's how I felt. The drums were amazing. I felt like there was more than one set of drums.
Yeah, it feels like there are drums all over, all around you, really. Like, that's what I felt. Like, they're behind me, they're...
And so many different on so many different levels.
Yeah,
And you know what? The guitar was also really, really nice.
and bass. Yeah, music was top-notch, I think.
Yeah, and that's, even when you're looking at the lyrics, there's not many of them, and I genuinely feel and felt like it's just an addition to
Yeah,
to the music itself.
there is one part where I really appreciate the lyrics, though. So there was, after the middle, like past the middle of the song, there was this build-up, and then he sang like Pneuma, like very strongly. And for me, that part was like at the first part of the song, he was explaining Pneuma, what Pneuma is. I think that's how I felt. Like he was explanation part of song, and the second part was like demonstration part. Like with this one, like very strong Pneuma, he's shown what Pneuma is, which is like for me at least, that's how I felt it, like something that puts a life into you, like yeah.
Well, pneuma means spirit, right? From Greek. So I think I have even more theories on this. It is something I would probably tackle from this angle as well. But there was a few moments I feel in the song when I felt there will be this either bomb or there will be like a drop and there was something else. So that was really interesting construction. I know it's not the first song when it happens, when I kind of maybe not intentionally, but expect something else. But something else happens in a really interesting way. So that's also what I've picked up on the musical level. Oh, it was really interesting experience, and like I call it pencils. What it's called, the thingy that you use to draw.
Sticks.
Possibly.
I'm not sure how it's
yeah.
called.
So you could feel like very delicate bits. I don't know if it was on the actual plates, so called, but the sound was so nice, so delicate, and so interesting. Yeah, so what do you think about this music?
Yeah, for me, music was magical almost. Like I've been in another dimension when I was listening to it.
Yeah, it was something else again, and not something I'd expect, because I feel like the voice gives a lot, and it was still beautiful and nice. But even with this pneuma part, I would agree that there was some kind of explanation of what pneuma actually is, but it still just felt like just an addition. I felt like the music was speaking for itself. Music was actually the presence of what pneuma is and how it should be understood. And the reason I'm saying it is, I think we've mentioned on our last video that it comes from the pneuma comes from Stoic's philosophy. So obviously I couldn't help myself. I looked it up a little bit just to kind of remind myself. And within their philosophy, pneuma was because obviously all ancient philosophers have been trying to assess what the world is made of. What's this first arha, the substance that created the world? And they believe there was four, the standard ones: water, earth, fire, and air. But pneuma was the essence. Pneuma was the cause that was linking all of them. And that's why I felt like that's what it is actually presented in the song, the pneuma, the actual sustaining cause,
I always thought pneuma is the air or the breath, because like, do you know like the word pneumatic? If you have, I don't know, pneumatic suspension in the car, that is based on air pressure and so on. So that's why I thought pneuma means something like air.
Yeah, because you can feel it, because it is it is linked to breath, isn't it? It is spirit, it is soul, excuse me, it is soul. So it is really interlinked to this spiritual side of things, to the breath. Not in the Stoics philosophy though. The air was a separate element. It was the passive element as well, of the word. But pneuma was something else in this case. That was this sustaining cause. What was sustaining and linking and allowing to grow and maintain.
I see the translation as or the definition as a vital spirit. I think
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's what you're describing. It feels like it.
Yeah, that's how the song felt, right? And that's in terms of the Stoics philosophy. But I feel in the song as well, it was more because the idea of spirit, it is present not just in ancient philosophy, right? It is present everywhere. It is present in Christianity. Spirit, even you can ultimately even say it. Pneuma is the presence of a god, right? It's the that's what the spirit is, or and the reincarnation, the reincarnation philosophy, the Hindu philosophy. That's what speaks out. The soul is the main element that can travel through time from, from carnation to carnation. So there's like so much, and Pneuma is everywhere. And what always comes with Pneuma, I feel, is that it is the sustaining element. Even for atheists, some atheists don't believe in God, but do believe that the soul, there is something unusual about the soul, they can't explain it. Like there is this some kind of magical, if not transcendent element. They call it something else, right? But it is this type of transcendent in the soul itself. So that's what spoke out to me, and that's what I felt like the song was kind of about. But again, not through the lyrics, I could just almost felt as it's traveling, as pneuma, as this the spirit that is bounded to flesh, but it's something more than just the flesh, but bound to reach out and beyond this flesh. He says in the song as well, and yeah, that's just a feeling I had. I think I went off.
Yeah, I don't
know.
even know what to say really, because most of you said I felt as well. I felt like the song has its own life, kind of,
Yeah.
and also it was so strong and so, I don't know, smooth, and also like very addictive, I would say. Like the whole rhythm, the melody is really, really like persistent, I would say, from the very start, or maybe not the very start, but pretty much from the start till the end. It is like constantly recognizable. If you were to listen to just one part of that song, you would immediately know that this is Pneuma, kind of. I have this feeling, at least. It's very remarkable, I would say.
Yeah. And even you don't need to like know philosophy or different religions, right, to know kind of the idea or to have this feeling, right? What I'm thinking as well, I think it's even more rather than philosophy, this kind of reincarnation, the rebirth of soul that the song may be referring to, because towards the end it says, wake up, remember, we are born of one breath, one word. So this wake up, remember, it's almost as if, I think it's in Buddhism actually, the last stage of when you actually are at the point you remember all your previous rebirths and all the previous souls you've been, or people, sometimes not always person. I believe you don't have to kind of transform or rebirth. You can rebirth as a bird, right? But that's the moment when you actually remember. So it's almost like a scream to this soul, to the spirit, to Pneuma, to remember, because it has ability to travel, right? Reach out and beyond. Maybe, maybe I'm completely wrong.
No, I can tell you're very...
I just got a bit excited, probably.
Yeah, excited about the subject itself.
Yeah.
That's great to see.
But even resurrection in Christianity, right? It's also some kind of rebirth. So it's just beautiful, I think. I really, really like this. But I think the main part I really liked was the fact that I could almost feel like the pneuma, the sustaining element, something that travels, that has this ability to to have these vital functions and sustaining the functions through the music.
Do you think it links in any way to the previous Fear Inoculum?
I was just about to say though that I really, really enjoyed Fear Inoculum. And Fear Inoculum, we discussed the inoculum part, I'd say. What I've discussed later with you a bit was the kind of the devil, the fear. You know, I think it can link to this. It is, although I don't know. What do you think?
So I'm thinking that I totally agree that the Pneuma song describes like the persistence nature of life or of this weird element which we call the living the sparkle or whatever we call it. And if you think about now about the Fear Inoculum and indeed the devil part you were mentioning before, and we were talking about this, and also someone mentioned this in a quite long comment under the last video, the devil part. We have to remember that the devil part is also persistent, I think. So that's how I would attempt to link those two songs by, by taking the duality, the good and evil, and not looking at the Pneuma itself as just a good thing, but there comes, like with the good thing, bad thing comes, and we have to remember both are persistent. That's my attempt, at least.
Is it though in the Pneuma song? Do you think? Because I think in the comments as well I've seen that it is interlinked, and the next songs can, because we had Fear Inoculum, and then we had each next song present some different level or type of fear as well. That was an interesting
Oh yeah, I remember.
interpretation I've seen. But if I meant to kind of link it, I even just loaded up the lyrics from Fear Inoculum. There was part where he said, "Fear the breath, fear the light, fear the breath," and the Pneuma as a breath of or blow.
But Pneuma mentions light as well. Child, wake up. Child, release the light.
Yeah.
For example.
Let me think.
And
it actually, the Fear Inoculum ended with exhale, expel.
that's another part, yeah.
So, exhale. And then we have Pneuma, which is this type of a sustaining breath, you can say, the spirit. That's really interesting. We could dig into this, actually. I think I like the way you've approached this with that this duality and both good and bad are reflected in Pneuma. But I don't think though, I don't know whether that's the essence of the song. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I don't think it's the essence of the song. I just was trying to find the thing that would link those two songs together. Yeah. And that was my just first thought, really.
Yeah. If we would go and try to abstract it, I'm pretty sure we would had more and more, we would find more and more in common in these two songs. But at the moment, at least after this listen, I feel like Pneuma, the essence of the song is focused more on this, on the actual spirit.
Yeah,
for me, on
totally
the
agree.
way how unique the spirit is, how unique is the spirit that we have, our mind,
but
as
would
well,
you say
our consciousness.
Would you say it is only about the people, though?
No, it doesn't have to be. I think that's the thing. I focused on the mind, on the consciousness, so on this human part of each of us having their own spirit, but it doesn't have to be at all. That was my first took on the song as through this individual prism again, but it can refer to the general spirit. It seems that
or general life even.
Yes, life, but also in the previous songs, which one was it? The one where we've actually discussed quite a lot about the spirit of humanity, the way it is progressing.
Maybe right into the one with angels on the sidelines. Was it this one?
No, I don't think so. I think it was some middle song from previous album. Let me see. But, regardless, there is this also human spirit. We have something that as a whole society, on this more social level rather than just individual, it can reflect the song this bigger spirit, bigger type of the spirit, something really unique that we create as humans.
Okay, like would you say it's common consciousness or linked consciousness?
For example,
Something like
common
that?
consciousness.
I think there's even better word for that. I just don't remember.
That's when I think when we've discussed a bit of a Hegel as well.
Yeah,
Let
I
me
think
try.
so.
Yeah.
Was it 46 and 2 maybe?
No, it wasn't, because I've listened to 46 and 2 as one of the first songs I've listened to. Let me just, because I won't be able to live with myself, I won't find it. It definitely was in 10,000 Days, I believe. But where was it? It was in 10,000 Days. 10,000 Days album was also really brilliant. So we may have as well to...
Could be
discuss-
Vicarious maybe. Because Vicarious was
Possibly.
about like evil nature of the human species.
Or the pot? Maybe Vicarious, you're right. Regardless.
Anyway,
Yeah, we can go back to it later, but I guess the essence I tried to say is that it just can't reflect this pneuma as a social spirit, as a social as the, how did you say it, the consciousness of
Common
humanity. Common
consciousness.
consciousness. Yes, I
but
like
it's not
this.
correct.
Yeah, but I like it, because you know what I'm trying to say. But I like even more, looking from this prism of individual spirit, of this
Collective
really...
consciousness.
Oh yes,
That's the
the
best.
word.
Yeah.
Really unique type of spirit, something that is the sustaining. That's what sustains us as a humans as well. That's a great word in this song, I think, and I absolutely love the way the music went in this song as well.
I couldn't agree more. I would say that's the... it's very hard to say it's the best song from the album, but it's definitely in my top 2.
Really, I can't really say whether that's gonna be my best song, only because I really like the previous song on this album, and there's so much more to discover. So once I went through all of them, I think I'm gonna make my decision then. But without a doubt, it was extremely interesting, and the sticks, did you say, right, and the whole drums. Oh, that was so good. And again, I don't know if it's definitely the one person, because you didn't feel like it was just one drum in person.
I
It
can
felt like
assure
there
you
was like
it is one.
it felt like there was loads of them.
I've seen this actual drum video from the live, and it's very impressive, I have to say. I think you're gonna like it.
Yeah. So in terms of the video of live performance by Danikari,
Danikari.
yes, we will definitely listen to it, because I'm really interested as well. How is he able to do all those things that I heard in the song? So we will listen it probably as some extra in 2 or 3 weeks or so, if that's okay with you guys. And next week we're gonna listen to what we're gonna listen to. Invincible, but before it, we had some very small, I think, short intro on the album. It's called Litany Contra la Per, if I say it correctly. So yeah, these 2 songs will come next. Is there anything you'd like to add before we finish?
No, I'm just now thinking about the next, about Invincible, and I think that's... Like when I'm thinking about Pneuma and now I'm remembering what Invincible is about, I feel like we're gonna have some good topics to talk about because of this. Like this is really each next song on this album, I think, brings something to discussion. Like another, like the comment you mentioned in under the previous video, there was one comment going through each of the song, and I think it nailed it. It's really like that. It like uncovers with each song. It uncovers new territory to discuss. I think it's great.
Okay, I cannot wait. Honestly, these songs, this album is really strong. It started really, really nicely, I must say. And so yeah, I think we're okay to finish for now. As always, thank you so much for watching and for being with us. If you have any comments, anything you would like to add, please feel free to do so. And thank you. See you next week.
Thank you.